Well, hello again and welcome to our reading of the Greek New Testament. We're reading Matthew's Gospel and we're up to chapter 20 and verse 20. This particular pericope is only in Mark. It's left out by Luke. Generally, Luke doesn't like to include things that put the apostles in a bad light, and this particular pericope sort of does that. Hence, it's not in Luke's Gospel, but it is in Matthew and Mark. Toti proselthen auto he meteaton quion Zebediou metaton quion autes proskunusa kai aitusa ti ap autu. And at that time the mother of the sons of Zebediah, that is James and John, she came metaton with her sons, proskunusa, worshipping him and asking for tit, something from him. So we get that indefinite tit. Notice it's enclitic, and so it pushes the accent back onto here. So asking something from him. Pote epenaute titheles, and he said to her, What do you want? Lege auto, she said to him, Epe hina kathisos in autoi hoi duo quioi mu hes ex dexion su kai hes ex eu onumon su ente basileia su. So literally say that, or perhaps speak in order that, plus a subjunctive, these two sons of mine, of me, kath hisosi from kathisto, that they might sit one hes ex dexion, one on the right, one on your right, and one on your left. So just a little aside here, dexios is the word for right. It's connected with decami, to receive, because most people are right-handed, and so they would receive things in their right hand. On the other hand, euonymos, it's formed from eu plus the onyma root. Left was always regarded as sinister, what the word means, and hence bad. Now, you never call a bad thing bad, because it might come back to bite you. So what you do is you call bad things by a good name to placate them. And so euonymos literally means a good name, and hence becomes, but it's the word used for the left. You also get aristera for the left, the best thing, which of course it's the exact opposite. So apologies to left-handed people, of which I am one. So one on your left in your kingdom. Apokrithes de hoiesus, and Jesus having answered, he said, Uk oidati ti I taste there. You do not know what thing you are asking. Dunas, and we get a question here. Dunas the piain top poterion, ho ego melo pinein. Are you able, now it's you plural, so it must be, he must be speaking here to James and John, I think. Piain is the aorist infinitive from pino. The aorist is epion, and the root there is p, and we get that strong aorist infinitive. So, are you able to drink the cup which I, Melo, am about, pinein, to drink? Now, in classical Greek, Melo normally takes a future infinitive, but this is just a present infinitive here. Legus in auto, they say to him, Dunamatha, we are able. Lege autois, he says to them, Tomen poterion mu pies there, tot de kathisai ex dexion mu kai ex onomon uk esti emon tu tot dunai. So he says to them, now notice we get a men and a de. We don't get too many of these in Matthew's Gospel anyway. It's on the one hand, on the other. So you often don't translate it in English, but we should note it there in the Greek. So now this is a future here. PS there, you will drink. In the future, the verb pino goes into the middle, so the future of pino is PMI. So you, plural, will drink my cup, on the one hand, tode, but to sit on my right hand and on my left, it is not, it is not possible. So it is not for me, this thing is not mine, do I to give. So we get a rather funny expression here. It's tot plus the infinitive. So it's articular infinitive, aorist infinitive from kathisdo, but to sit at my right hand and on my left, it is not emon mine, it's not within my power, do I, and in brackets two tot, to grant this. The fact we have a two tot in brackets here shows that at some point some copyist was also having some trouble with the grammar here. So esti can also sometimes mean it is possible. So it is not possible to for me to grant this, or this is not mine to grant. We do need a two tot or something in here to make sense of it. Al hois he toimastai hupotu patrus mu, but to the ones whom, now we get a perfect passive here from, this is from hetoimazdo, to prepare. Hetoimos is ready or prepared, hetoimazdo to prepare. This is a perfect passive here, third person singular. So, but those for whom it has been prepared, hupotu patros mu, by my father. Kai akusantes hoideka aganaktesan periton duo adelphon. And when they heard this, the 12, well, it would actually be the 10, because there's it is the 10, the deca, the remaining 10 out of the 12. Now, the verb here is aganactio. Aganactio is to be annoyed. So they were angry or annoyed regarding the two brothers. So when they heard this, the 10 other apostles, the 10 other disciples, were angry or annoyed regarding the two brothers. Hodiesus pros kalesaminos, and Jesus, having called them aside, to get the pros, or called them to him, he said, Oidati hoti hoia contes ton ethnon katakuriusin, you know that the rulers of the Gentiles, or the nations, katakuruo is to rule. So rule over them, and kai hoi megaloi, and the great ones, katexousi adzousi, our tone. This is from kata plus exousiasdo. Now you know exousia, authority. This is the verb formed from that, and the kata just makes it very strong. So the great ones have powerful authority over them. They have great authority, or exercise authority over them, might be better there. Ukhutos esti en humin. It will not be thus among you. Al hosian thele en humin megas genestai estai humon diakonos. But whoever wishes to be megas, great, en humin, among you, he will be diakonos, a servant, humon, of you all. Kai hosan thele en humin enai protos esti humon doulos. And whoever wishes to be first among you will be the slave of you all. Hospe hopios to anthropu ugeothan diakonethenai, ala diakonesai, kai dunai tem psukena to lutron antipolon. Thus the Son of, or almost likewise in the same manner, the Son of Man did not come. Now this is the aorist passive infinitive from diakonio, to be served, and then we get the ordinary aorist infinitive, but to serve, and to give his psuche, his life, as a lutron, a ransom, antipolon, for many, in place of many. And the final pericope for this chapter is the healing of the two blind men, which is in Mark and Luke. Kai ek poru omenon auton apo hiereko ekoluthesen auto oklos polus. And genitive absolute, and as they were going out from Jericho, they a large crowd, much crowd, ekoluthesen followed him. Kai idu, and behold, two tufloi, two blind men kathamenoi, sitting paraten hodon, beside the way, acousantes hoti Jesus parage, hearing that Jesus is passing by, from para plus ago, ekraxan, from krasdo, and the stem of that verb is crag, and that's why it forms its aorist with a psi. So they ekraxon from krasdo, they cried out legontes, saying, Eleeson, have mercy on us, O Lord, Son of David. Hodeoklos, and the crowd, epitimesin autois hinasiopesosin, the crowd rebuked them in order that they might be silent from siopao. Hoidemedson ekraxen legontes, but they cried out all the more, they cried out greater, or we would say all the more, legontes, saying, Elieson hemas kurie, huios David. Imperative from eleo, have mercy upon us, our Lord, Son of David. Kai stas ho Jesus, ephones en autois kai apen, tithelete poiesa humin. And Jesus, now stas, again, is from histemi. This is the aorist participle. It's stopping. Literally standing there. So stationing himself. So stopping. He said, he called to them, and he said, what do you wish I will do for you? Legusi auto, they say to him, Courier, Lord. Now we get hina, anoigos in hoiophthalmoi heimon. It's, you have to supply something like speak or act in order that our eyes, anoignosin from anoigo, might be opened. Sorry, might open, I should say. It's not passive here, it's active, so that our eyes might open. Splank nistes deho Jesus, and Jesus from splank nisdamai. And so Jesus, having felt compassion, hapsato from haptamai, opponent middle. This is the aorist from haptamai. Touched their eyes, kaiuthos, and immediately, eutheos, and immediately, anablepso is to regain one's sight. So this is the aorist from anablepso. They regained their sight, and they followed from akoluthio, they followed him. And that is the end of chapter 20.